Hey, how's it going? It's Ethan with HustlePaintball.com, and I've got a long overdue review of the 2012 Proto Reflex Rail. As you can see, it's available in a bunch of very, very good looking color combinations. They've got some PGA custom anodize, very, very cool. In fact, in the price range, it's arguably some of the best looking guns available, and that really makes it very appealing. Dye has been making very, very good paintball guns for some time, and if you like a nice, compact, comfortable spoolie, this could be a great option for you. Now, aside from being some of the best looking guns in the price range, they really come loaded up with a lot of clever features. The eye pipe design now comes standard on all the Dye and Proto guns. Very, very cool feature. Comes with a good quality two-piece barrel, the really comfortable and consistent inline Hyper 3 regulator. The Airport ASA is very awesome, very small, very durable, very good looking. The ultralight trigger frame is super comfortable, and a big improvement over last year with the new Reach trigger. It's just more comfortable to shoot. So you really have a lot of new options with different colors, some upgraded features, and what I'd like to do is bring in the camera. We're going to show you basically everything from top to bottom, show you how to maintain your gun, and we're going to take it outside and we're going to shoot it as well. Now I want to start with the two-piece barrel. It's made with the same process as the Dye ultralight barrel, and arguably it's the same quality, the same level of accuracy, but hey, that's just me speculating. That's nothing official from Dye. It is compatible with the ultralight, both the backs and the fronts. That's a very nice feature, so if you have different tips, shorter, longer, whatever, you can definitely swap those out. The back is a 690, and they don't actually make a Dye ultralight back in 690, so if you want a larger back bore for your Dye ultralight kit, this is the one to get. Now, the body is not cast or extruded. This is actually 3D milling, and of course then it's media blasted for that dust finish, and this particular one is the PGA Eagle version, which has got this gorgeous anodize, one of my favorite honestly, which is why I chose this to be my model. Comes with clamping feed neck, neat, that's cool. What's really cool about it is on the back side, there's not a nut or thumb screw or anything like that that can become, unscrewed and end up falling out. That's a cool feature. If you want to loosen this, just move the lever around, but I've happened to, I've lost those nuts before, and it really sucks on the field because then you have a non-clamping feed neck. That sucks. Now, let's move down to the Hyper 3 inline regulator. While I'm not super crazy about these rubber grips, especially this one because it's not too hard for it to pop up or slide down, that's a small gripe I have with it, but the rubber inlay on the front of the body and on the upper and lower portion of the regulator does assist in making it much more comfortable. The really cool thing about this regulator is that it's balanced. Not all regulators on paintball guns, not just in this price range, but more expensive, less expensive, are balanced. And what that means is if you put in a high pressure output tank like 800 psi or mid pressure or low pressure, it doesn't matter. This inline regulator will output the same pressure no matter what. As long as the output pressure is higher than what you're trying to output from your regulator, it's going to be the same. So none of this malarkey about, oh, you need to get an SLP tank for your gun. That I think is BS. Unfortunately, with the Reflex Rail, you just don't need to. Now, got a straight macro line fitting and a 90 swivel fitting, which is something that not all guns in the price range come with. I just don't like fixed fittings. They drive me nuts. But the DM13 is actually going to come standard with 45-degree macro line fittings, and that will be available as an upgrade for this. It's definitely something that will improve the lines even more. But if you look at it, whether you're a righty or a lefty, it doesn't matter. The macro line goes straight down the middle, and it doesn't matter how you're shooting it. You don't have a fitting coming out the side of your ASA or going up high into the regulator. It's just very clean and comfortable. Now, the Airport ASA, definitely a big upgrade. Got a nice small little lever. It's very smooth, and the design of this ASA is so robust and clever that you should not end up having to rebuild any of the O-rings in there unless you did something just ridiculous. One gripe with it is that this knob is kind of small with gloves or paint on it, or it's just dirty. Could be harder for you to turn on and off. I like a little bit bigger of a knob, but very small, very compact, and overall pretty fantastic ASA. Now let's move on to the ultralight trigger frame. The The ultralight trigger frame was first introduced by Dye on their ultra high-end markers, their $1,400 and $1,500 markers, and as you can see, it's a very comfortable design that's been widely copied by many of their manufacturers and is very prevalent today. Now if we go ahead and turn on the marker, you'll see that there's LEDs on the side of the grip, and you may not notice there's an LED at the top rear of the grip. This is a very cool feature actually, because you can see it in shooting position, and the LED will flash different colors and patterns to let you know if something's going on, and you can see it when you're shooting. But top button turns it on, bottom button turns the eyes off. As you can see, it starts flashing red. Now your eyes are off. Pull the trigger, you'll hear the solenoid click. Another cool thing about it, let me turn the eyes back on. Okay, the eyes are on. If I pull the trigger, nothing happens. If I pull and hold for a second, you'll hear the solenoid click. The gun will fire. There's a bypass built in, which is a cool feature that could definitely be good for teching, or just wanting to know, or even getting out of a tight situation in a tournament. Now we're looking at the other side of the frame. I'm going to remove these screws. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to show you what the inside looks like. Now we pull open the grip frame and you'll see it does come with a Furious battery. High quality 9 volts are very important for high-end guns. You've got your solenoid and eye wires, of course your micro switch, and one thing I do have a problem with this gun is that it does require that you have to use these dip switches to go into configuration mode if you want to change the dwell, change the firing modes, or do anything like that. There's not simply a tournament lock that you remove. This is something that has to be, you enter configuration mode, make the changes, and then you have to leave configuration mode before going on. Something that I don't think is done quite as well as other high-end guns and guns in this price range, but it is what it is. I want to touch on the fact that a major cost of these guns is a very high quality solenoid. They use SMC solenoids, which are just more robust and a much higher quality than many other solenoids used in other markers today. What that's going to result in is if you accidentally overpressurize your inline regulator, chances are you'll be able to lower the pressure, re-gas up the gun, and the solenoid gaskets will reseat and you will avoid blowing your solenoid. These just have very robust solenoids, which eliminates a major cost and potential repair. Now, the reach trigger is a huge upgrade over last year. The natural flow of it goes with the geometry of your fingers, and I guarantee you're just going to be able to shoot faster with this gun versus older style triggers. It's time to talk about some basic maintenance. Now, if you unscrew the back cap all the way, you're going to end up leaving some vital internals behind. You have to push those out the back using a battle swab or something like that. Unscrew the back cap twice. Use your Allen wrench, kind of cock it at an angle, and be able to pull the entire bolt assembly out. You'll see what's happening is when you're just unscrewing the back cap all the way, it's separating from the can, and this will just come off the bolt assembly, and you'll end up with this stuck inside the gun, and that's kind of a pain. Now, to go ahead and separate this further, remove the front O-ring on your bolt, and then you can slide the can off, and here we have everything laid out nice and neatly for you. Basic maintenance, of course, wipe down any dirt, grime, heaven forbid paint and old grease and that sort of thing, and go ahead and lightly re-grease your gun, put it back together. The nice thing is there's been some misconception about spool valves being incredibly complex to work on. You cannot put this back together incorrectly. It will only go back together one way. So lightly grease all your O-rings. You don't have to worry about greasing the surfaces because the O-rings are going to be the ones that are contacting the surfaces. As long as you have grease on the O-rings, that will spread to the surface. Again, do not over lube your gun because you're going to end up with some issues. Screw everything back together. Slides into the back of the gun. Tighten it down, not too tight, just properly tight. Let's take this thing outside and go shoot some stuff. All right, we're outside. We've got our 20,000 leagues, and well, it's just a lot of fun to do shooting portions. So we've got this on super ramp. We have some fun. Show you how smooth and fast this gun can shoot.
Okay, now what I want to do is demonstrate how smooth this gun actually shoots. This is by no means a perfect test, but I want to show you that there's not a whole lot of muzzle rise. Now when I go into full auto, you'll see it jump up a bit. It's very easy to control. I'm only using the fact it wants to tip back because of the tank. This gun just fires so smoothly. Very, very, very nicely done.
All right, and that pretty much wraps it up. You've seen us take it apart. We've shown you how to maintain it, take it outside and shot it. And of course, with the new price drop, these things are more affordable than ever. In the past, they were a little bit more expensive than I thought was maybe legit. They were very good looking, of course, but they were just a little bit more expensive than similar guns in the price range, and now they're totally in line with that. But you gotta know, anytime you're buying a Dye or Proto gun, you've got Dye Paintball at your back, and that's pretty solid. They make just very good, high quality products, and they take it real seriously. So if you have any questions, email us at videos@hustlepaintball.com. Sure to check out our website for these, any other gear that you need. Definitely subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We appreciate your guys' support. We got a lot more videos for you, and I'm sure you want to see them. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, read our blog, and go to pb0n.com right now. Join the forum. We're building a fantastic community there of very, very cool people. We definitely like everyone to be a part of that. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you soon.
Jason H.